There's no such thing as work-life balance. None!
Just fucking do it. Subscribe now.
Oh, yes, sir.
It seemed to me that her real turning point was an instance where she was really frustrated and talked to a law firm or something like that and just kind of had a...
No, she had 10 or 12 no's on cold calls. And she said, even though I stepped down, then I stepped back in, I think she said she made 50, 60 cold calls that day. And 10 or 12 of them, first 10 or 12 were no, which is not unusual. But they weren't no from a principal. They were no from, they left messages. Everybody else has their own breaking point. There's not too many, you heard what I played the first time when I mentioned the leading Mercedes salesman here in Britain said, and I played it, I never heard so many people whine and ask the same question, does it really come down to cold calls? And it's what breaks most of the kids. And for those of you that laugh and think that that's not, we'll see. Because if you adhere to the weekly reports you're going to get for yourself, not for me, and you answer them honestly, because you're only fooling you, you're not fooling me, because I don't read them. There's not a 300 cold caller in this room a day. There's not a 200 cold caller in this room a day. There's not a 100 cold caller in this room a day. We might, as they say in Oklahoma, could have maybe a 50 cold caller in the room. 50. Real live. You heard Gerard, he said he made 20 cold calls in a day. Now he's running a business, cut him some slack. We've had polished salesmen, their wives tell me, Bob looked at the phone for 45 minutes without touching it until I said, what are you, a cunt like Dan says? Pick up the fucking phone. This is a polished salesman. If it were as easy as it sounds, we'd have everybody that comes to the seminar would be a billionaire. So someplace there's a disconnect, right, Murph? Someplace there's a disconnect. And the disconnect is not in the system, it's you. And it's you between your ears.